Hari Om all. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Today we will contemplate on chapter 9, Raja-vidyā, Raja-guhya Yoga, verse 2. Raja-vidyā, Raja-guhyam, pavitram idam uttamam, pratyakṣhāvagamaṁ, dharmyam, su-sukham, kartum avyayam. Let me repeat again. Raja-vidyā, Raja-guhyam, pavitram idam uttamam, pratyakṣhāvagamaṁ, dharmyam, su-sukham, kartum avyayam. This knowledge is the king of sciences and the most profound of all secrets. It purifies those who hear it. It is directly realizable in accordance with dharma, easy to practice, and everlasting in effect. Raja-vidyā, the king of sciences. Raja-guhyam, the most profound secret. Pavitram, pure. Idam, this. Uttamam, highest. Pratyakṣha, directly perceptible. Avagamam, directly realizable. Dharmyam, virtuous. Su-sukham, easy. Kartum, to practice. Avyayam, everlasting. Yeah. So, just to get the context, so last chapter we came to know that, like, what are the ways how a soul lives, and we saw about the Uttarayanam, Dakshinayanam, where the in the path of light, with where the seeker has the clear knowledge of the self, he doesn't come back, while the one who was focused on punyas, they will enjoy, but they come back, right? Now Krishna is saying he's going to tell the king of the science, the Raja-vidyā, and which is secret. So how do you read this? How do you see this verse? And what is your view? What is he saying? Who, Isha ji or Krishna, anyone can start.
I think the last chapter, no, we kept discussing how do you remember Krishna at the time of death. No, there were many ways. The most easiest way, which is foolproof, is by doing it on a everyday basis. Following it on a everyday basis, so it comes naturally when you're dying, because usually what we are doing the entire life is what we will be thinking about subconsciously in our head at the time of parting. So I think it was established that everyday life, when you are doing your work with a detachment, or when you are not too attached with the results, understanding that you're pure conscious, and what we have is a very mortal body which we will go, but the one which is eternal is the soul. Once you are fully understand, not theoretically, fully understand and practice it in everyday's life, then it is easier for us to attain liberation. Or even the person who is practicing that may not even look for liberation, because there is no difference in afterlife and living, because he's already in that bliss of pure consciousness. So I think this verse, it's saying, though it says Raja-guhyam, it's the most confidential thing. And he says, I feel this is referring to the knowledge that is being given till eighth chapter. Mostly, the first, if you, I think we divided into three parts, right? So it starts from 6, 7, 8. So it's saying this is the most confidential knowledge. When they say confidential knowledge, it's not that you cannot say it to somebody else. You can say, but yeah, when the seeker is ready, the guru speaks. So it is observed easily. I feel like that. There is no other knowledge other than, that you're a pure con.
So, yeah, there he Krishna was talking about bhakti,
Hmm.
where like remember me all the time, right?
Hmm.
Now here he's talking about some knowledge. Okay, so now what is that knowledge? Because it's knowledge means some he's talking about he's going to talk about some science.
You can say that also. See, now I think
Uh,
recently, the science is all about, the Big Bang Theory and Milky Way and all that thing. So I think more it is like proving to people who don't believe also, in case you don't believe in certain, uh, a creator creating
mm,
us. You don't believe in that also. I feel the knowledge, what is this? See, Bhakti Yoga is for somebody who are in that Bhakti path,
mm,
right? So in case you're not in bhakti path, then you're purely science part. So even then, all what he has told about bhakti still holds good, because
yeah.
it's never says anything else, right? It says, do it with detachment, you don't take anything and go from the world. It's all proven.
Okay.
So I think it is the same. Bhakti yoga is the
Okay.
knowledge. It's the same, two sides of the same coin.
Okay. Let's develop on this.
Yeah.
Uh, let's hear from Krishna ji. Krishna ji.
Yeah. So, so this the knowledge of consciousness is like it's the ultimate, and we have started from one chapter one till here. So here again we can see the significance of this Bhagavad-gita and this knowledge about consciousness, why we are here, who we are, how to behave, and how to be in sync with this entire world, which has been, I mean, which is part of our brain. So here, this sloka is like saying this knowledge is the king. So this is an ultimate, and this is the final one,
Mm,
and this is again saying as a profound secret. There is nothing else after this. So this is the final one, and this is a profound secret. It is almost, and those who hear this, and also it is able to, and we are able to directly realize it. So that's what it's highlighting. And as I told, it is like in accordance with dharma, and Bhagavad Gita is something like which we can practice at a day to life, irrespective of person, the situation, when with the language,
mm,
what's so on, so on, so on, so right, those
mhm,
things. And here, since it is ultimate knowledge, and it is, we can realize it, we can practice it, and what we do, and we practice, and practice in the sense, previous chapter, like the consistency, always being in that consciousness, irrespective of whatever the situation is. So this entire knowledge is the ultimate, and it's like or everlasting in effect, which means like we can progress on this, and this is a clear cut path, and we can see the progress through this, and that's why it says everlasting, which I can take some information like everlasting. I would like to put it like, even in this birth of this body mind, right?
mhm,
Even if I not able to achieve, but it is having a progress meter or a record path roadmap. I mean, this per stage, I will like, even if I bond with whatever, like in body or something else, I would
mm,
able to resume from there. It's not something like I will drop out. So
mm.
So that's sloka is, that's how I am interpreted these sloka into my mind.
Yeah. So one is bhakti about it was very clear to us, like how to reach Krishna, right? And avoid this cycle of birth and death, right? And the way I see it is uh, when you say knowledge, this knowledge is the king of sciences. Where so there are many subjects. If you take in our at the material world level, right? You have a science, you have math, and like you try to biology. You try to read each and everything, right? So the way I see it is like this, and like, is there a science that rules above all these, knowing which you can like come to know about everything else? Okay, so that is when like you call that kind of a knowledge a king of the sciences, which rules all the other knowledge subjects, right? And and like what is that, right? We'll come to that. And this most profound of all secret, then he says like it is secret. Why is it secret, right? If there is a knowledge, it should be available to everyone, right? Why are like, why is like everyone not able to see, like last session last week, Isha ji asked about like why is there a problem, why are people hurting, and to to have pushed their own agenda. What is that they're missing, right? And he's saying this knowledge, just by hearing itself, it purifies the person who is hearing it. And then he's saying it is directly realizable in accordance with the dharma, which means it's not that like once that knowledge is like being explained, it's not you don't need to have something else to realize it. It is directly realizable, he's saying, right? So there can be like in the world level, we know that for certain things you need some tools to figure out, realize, right? So compared to that, this particular knowledge is directly realizable, and it in accordance with dharma, meaning it makes sense. When you hear that, it makes sense, right? It's not that like it's very difficult to agree or accept, no, right? He's saying it makes sense. And when it is easy that like to hear and you are getting convinced, it is easy for you to practice also. And easy to practice, and it's not something like you practice one day, it's everlasting also in effect. He is talking about the qualities of that knowledge. So what is that knowledge, again coming back, right? Which rules every other science, and why is it secret, right? So to me, it is the knowledge of the self. Who are you at the end of the day? Because that's where the whole problem starts, right? What is this world, and why am I different from God, and like where is this God, and there is world and me, like these three entities, right? That's where we spend the whole life, right? That is where the knowledge of who you are, right? And we will see a lot more, right? About that knowledge, which is what Krishna ji was also talking about, the pure consciousness, and pure consciousness only, right? And he's saying like it is secret because it is there, but not it's not available. It's not everyone is able to see it. Why? Because uh, a person has to get ready to see it. It's like if you have a glass with which is dirty, you are what you are going to see is going to be accordingly, right? So until you clean the glass, you are not able to, you are not going to be seeing everything as is. It's basically based on what you use to see, right? And so in our case, who is the, like, how are we uh, interpreting everything through the mind, which means until the mind is clean, we are not able to see the existence in the purest form. That's why there is a lot of emphasis on chitta shuddhi, cleansing of the mind. That's why he's again saying, when one is ready, it purifies also those who hear it, and like we feel good, right? When whatever all this learning that we are having from Gita, whenever we hear it, every chapter, every verse, we are feeling good, right? It's never that there is a clash in our heads, like, no, how can he say that, or like, how is that, like, I am not able to see it, right? No, like, what every verse, whatever we learn, it makes absolute sense, and it feels good as we hear, right? And it's accordance with dharma, because at the end of the day, what is the best everyone wants? Like, I want to be happy, healthy, and peaceful, not just me, everyone want to be happy, healthy, and peaceful, right? And the knowledge is all about that, right? It's never says that go and, like, hurt someone or this, do this. No, right? And all the practices we have been hearing, it is easy to practice, in the sense there is no conflict when we hear about these teachings. And once we hear, it is everlasting, because it makes complete sense to us, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
because the whole
Actually,
problem started
yeah.
because uh, there is a through the community, with all the knowledge that is being given by the community, you are this, you are that. There is, like, every day there is something being defined on you, put on you. You are this, you are like this, you should do this, I expect this from you, right? So that is what you keep hearing. And at the end of the day, like, the confusion is like, who am I finally at the end? Like, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing? What is the purpose? And that knowledge is what finally, and that is where even Arjuna gets this conflict when he's at the war, right? It's like, why is he shaken? Because the doubt starts, and that is the signs which Krishna started giving. And since this is, and if you see, this knowledge is beyond all the other subjects, right? It is not like it is one of the math science. No, it because once you know this rules the entire experience part of what we have every day. And once we have this knowledge, then, like, we can, whatever we do, we can do it. It brings a difference in the way we approach things, and what we do, how we do. Yeah.
Hmm. As you said, Sarananji, see, I know there are lots of knowledges, no, physics, math, and all. But
Mm.
know that everything is still in making. Like, what we learned in school, it's out. There's a change of curriculum, correct? So
Yeah.
that means we are still progressing in that particular knowledge, not with science or anything. But when it comes to this knowledge that we are pure conscious, we are a soul, this is not something that can be changed. It is
Yes.
so the book is eternal. The knowledge that it gives is also eternal.
And it will never be revised.
Yeah. So
Right?
exactly when first chapter, as you mentioned, when Arjuna had doubts, he has full knowledge, right? He's a pious king. He's such a nice guy also. Like
Yes.
he respects. He is good warrior.
Yes.
He follows dharma. There is nothing which he didn't do, but none of the knowledge which he has gained helped him
Yeah.
until and unless he gained this knowledge.
This knowledge. Yes. This knowledge basically stitches everything, right? Wow. Uh,
Correct.
Otherwise, everything is disconnected, and I'm doing it because I want this, I want that.
Yeah, correct.
And I'm always, when I want something, I am always less. Okay, I'm never complete. And you can never become infinite by adding uh, x grams or like x number of degrees. No,
Hmm.
it's always going to be finite.
Finite only, correct.
And so like that, and so the path, if you go after this path, you will never reach wherever you want. You will just keep walking.
It's like circling.
So,
We come round and we get this.
yeah,
No?
yeah. In tech world, we have this certifications people do, and every few years, like what you did becomes useless. The next new thing.
Useless. True, true. It's like
Yeah.
exactly. It's a book that will be there, maybe, beyond the earth also,
Yeah.
which
And look
can.
at the science, right? Science research articles also. If you see, there are a lot of research articles that get revised after many years. They say that, you know what, now with the new tools available, with other knowledge, we are able to see much more, and like there is a revision.
Sarananji, if you see, one guy said there is no electrons. He got Nobel Prize. Then again, one guy said there is electrons. It is inside nucleus. He got Nobel Prize. Same guy said electrons is. See, that's the way. If unfortunately, our knowledge is what we know, what we can see.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
What prove. Unfortunately, our soul we are not able to see. Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and see, if you see all the science, they want to use something in the lab with the equation to try to prove. That's
Ah,
why here he's saying it is directly realizable. You don't need any,
true
because the moment I use a tool, then I'm limited by the tool.
tool. Correct. Limited by the tool, limited by the situation, condition apply, it will become.
Conditions, exactly. This temperature, this they come up with when they write research articles, right? Under these conditions, here it is.
Yeah, correct. That is true.
Yeah, it's not that we completely ignore that what we call here lower knowledge. That is there for doing the karmas here, right?
Yeah,
Right.
need.
Yeah, it's not that, but having this higher knowledge basically leads to that satisfaction, or that uh, that completeness, that clarity, which the lower knowledge can never give. The lower knowledge can never go and make your mind peaceful, or like uh, make your mind calm or quiet. Though they can come up with lot of gadgets, right? Or the mobile app saying like put this
Hmm.
and listen to this music,
Yeah.
and right. So it is at one level, but this is definitely, this knowledge is at a higher level. It transcends, I would say it transcends all the lower knowledge, what we spend most of the time in the day.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I was also about to say about this. It is indirectly realizable and it purifies those who hear it, right?
Uh,
Every time it's the same sloka. I mean, I would get different perspective, and it's
yeah.
like a deep depth. One depth, it's like always going in.
Uh,
It's always becoming new.
yeah.
I'm not getting bored, and also earlier, Sarananji, like I started 2 years. It's been 2 years in Bhagavad Gita, but as a like spiritual thing, I was be doing like listening to YouTube videos 3 years. But till 2 years, I was thinking, okay, logical thinking and management things are highest. And excuse me, I was thinking logical thinking and even this the way we speak, people management, that
Mm.
is highest, and we have to be perfectionist. Okay, but after this Bhagavad Gita, like I realized like I'm doing things, but I think I'm doing control of everything. But I
Uh,
don't know how the blood flows. I know like okay, it flows and things, but I'm not completely operating it. Then how can I own this entire uh, how to say profit side or negative side of it? So it's like that gave me a rethink of my entire framework or whatever I used to think about
Ah,
world and everything, right? Like
uh,
this is how people will be. This is how I should behave. If this situation is there, apply this logic. A
mm,
kind of like algorithm, like at least in the IT, right? Something like, okay, people are like this, I have to approach this way,
mm,
and program is like that. But it gave me a complete and different. Okay, whatever I thought, it's gone. I'm able to accept it, right? That's the
ah,
thing. Like I do. Experientially, I'm able to accept it and feel it.
ah,
So it purifies. I'm saying that's where I feel like it purifies, and
mm,
I'm able to directly realize it. There is
mm,
nothing like I have to go through many things and like that. I am listening it and it's making sense to me. And also I'm able to apply it, right? And easy to practice.
mm,
And as I told you, it's going after every satsang like this, like
mm,
it's I'm able to see the growth, right?
mm,
Which I cannot say like what is the speed, whatever, like the graph wise, I cannot show the numbers. But better these things are happening.
ah,
That's motivates me also. Like wherever, whatever the situation is, we want to be in this, and we are in the right path, and we are
yeah,
progressing. And by listening again, I have not seen entire slokas of 18 chapters.
yeah, yeah.
By one, I'm listening. It gives me uh, what is it, assurance kind of thing. Like yeah, I just want to add on that.
Yeah, so that is the thing, right? Like, only when it makes sense to you, only when there is no conflict in what it's telling you, right? You will continue in the path. Otherwise, you are always going to think, you know what? Yeah, but I, I don't see the connection, right? Then slowly the mind will start saying, you know what? No, 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 this is not going to help you. Okay, let's try some other thing. Easily, it will take you to a thing, unless like it is convinced, you will not stay, right? And also it requires um, that kind of patience and like trust on, like, let me see, right? And reflection on, you know what, like, like, is it doing good or harm? If it's doing good, you know what, then like something like I should build up on it and see what else I can learn, right? That makes the difference. And you were talking about perfection, right? Yeah, before starting on this path, I was also like big into perfection. I wanted everything to be the it should be the way it should be. And it always used to bother me when I was seeing things not in the way I expect. Right now we know that what is real and what is not real, what is the
Yeah,
nature of the world, which is like always changing nature, right? In a changing nature, like,
mm,
what are you going to hold on to? It is just the definition there. Definition, it's, or the nature itself is change. In the change, which means like all possible combinations are possible at some point of time, right? So then, like, you cannot hold on to any particular scenario at some which would have been at some point of time for it forever, right? Because what is not real is subject to change. And so the only real thing that doesn't change is who you are, the pure consciousness, right? Sachit Ananda Swarupi, right? Like that you are the only changeless, which is why you are able to see all the changes. And but I cannot expect something else to be perfect outside me to not change, right? So those things really helped to see. Otherwise, like, everywhere you go, every time, every minute, every day, like, you will get upset. Hey, you know what, it's not perfect. Always, it's very easy to find problem, right, in the world. Oh, they are not doing this is not right, that infinite things you can get upset with, right? So,
yeah,
but while this knowledge is like putting a torchlight and saying, like, see it very clearly, now you will know.
mm, mm,
Right? Yeah. uh, Yeah, and um, I think that was one point I want to talk about from your comments. Yeah. Anything else, uh, Ishaji, Krishnaji, you want to add?
Sorry, I'm just thinking that
Yeah. Okay.
the
Yeah, and
effect.
another thing I want to say is like how it changed me is like what I noticed is um, even these prayers, right? We say that loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, like everyone should let everyone be happy, healthy, peaceful. Okay? You go with that to to this world as you're playing this drama. Be at home, be at work. When you have this positive mindset, right? What I see is like naturally you go beyond what how you see people otherwise, and just try to see, you know what, like everyone is trying to get something, or like so that they can be happy. So if I can do something to help them, then like everyone will be happy. And I see that like usually are like the ones who have difficult personalities, but when you approach this way, uh, they also respond in a different way. And at the end of the day, everyone likes to be with someone like who spreads that positive energy, who talks positively, uh, right? It's just a period. uh, so that way also this knowledge helps to play the role. We are also playing the role in the drama, right? So that's how I see that, how it helps as well.
Mm,
Otherwise it's like you want to be with someone like who is aligned to your views, and like who does like what you want. Usually that's how it goes.
correct.
But then like here, like how what I learn is like, hey, everyone wants to move up, everyone wants to be happy, everyone wants to be healthy. It's just their approach is different. Why is it different? Because of ajnana, ignorance. Okay, so when you see that like they are doing things because of ignorance in a wrong way, you feel like, you know what, let me help them actually. Right? Uh, you don't at that time you don't see them, you don't hate there is no hatred coming. It is because of ignorance they are doing it. So try to help them, then like they also respond it accordingly. Right?
I know. This, as Sadhguru says, no, when you see somebody like that, you shouldn't hate them because they have a disease. When
uh,
somebody has a disease, you're not supposed to hate them. You're supposed to try and cure
yeah,
them.
yeah, it is because of their experiences. I always feel like the experiences one has, right, it shapes the way they act in the world,
Right.
right? And the way they see people.
Mm.
And I always try to tell them, hey, you know what, drop that shield you carry, like just show who you are. Be yourself, right? It's very easy to work with, or like to stay, right? But why, but they always carry the shield because of the experiences they've gone through, and it's like they're trying to protect themselves, right?
Mm.
If I do this, others will harm me, this that.
So that's a very natural living beings.
uh,
What do you call that? Act things to do. I think as Vijay says, Saravanan whatever situation is, how bad or nice, we shouldn't think it's affecting us. If you put ourselves into a third perspective, third person's perspective, and view it,
mm,
how we react to it is completely different than saying it is affecting me, I'm reacting to it.
mm, mm,
See, imagine I look at it as Krishnaji and Saravanan-ji arguing instead of thinking that I and Saravanan-ji is arguing. My approach to that particular situation will be completely different.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. With that, we will end the contemplation here. Hari Om. Sri Guru Pyo Namah. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.